Lewis Hamilton is not actually having a bad season. Now, I know what you're thinking. What on earth are you talking about, Pete? You know nothing about Formula One, and I understand why you mentioned this. By his standards, of course, he's not winning races, he's not winning titles. In fact, his last race came at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in 2021. However, the issue is not Lewis Hamilton. The issue is the car. Lewis Hamilton hasn't changed. He is still the bad boy racer that we have come to know and learn over the last decade or so. So the question then becomes, what on earth is happening with his season? The Mercedes engine isn't fast, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you've been watching, but the Mercedes engine isn't the fastest on the grid. However, what it's very good at, it's the most reliable on the grid. The aerodynamics are not quite great with the car this year. They've tried different things with the chassis, but the porpoising has been outrageous to the extent we've watched Lewis get out of the car in severe back pain. The car is undrivable, the drivers have mentioned at one stage. We heard George Russell, we saw Lewis Hamilton talking about how he does not know what is wrong with this car. And all season long, all he's cared about is how to fix the problems they have. Bear this in mind, Red Bull and Ferrari have vastly improved since last season. Especially Ferrari, who literally canned the last 2 years. Hashtag trust the process for all my NBA Philly fans out there. And maybe the performance of last year's car really is the main reason why this year's car is hurting. And of course, the teams had to recover from their woes of last year. Lewis Hamilton robbed of the title in 2021, even though Mercedes still won the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes have had a lot of things to ponder. We didn't hear Lewis talk for about 3 to 4 months until testing, when he said he's back. And if you think about it, look at the consistency of points Lewis Hamilton is getting in this Mercedes. Arguably one of his best drives ever in Formula One. George Russell doing his thing as well. Whenever he's finished a race this season, he's finished in the top 5. And remember when Lewis was in the McLaren? When he was fighting up against that horrific McLaren that kept letting him down time after time. The pace was there this time, but boy was it unreliable. On this occasion, we've got a reliable Mercedes, it's just the pace isn't quite there. They just haven't got it right this season, Mercedes. But the season's not over. In fact, it's far from over. The porpoising has hurt lap times for sure, but Lewis is still getting points. There's no confidence in the car. It's very difficult to drive, and Lewis has not really been able to push to the limit of this Mercedes, because if he had, ladies and gentlemen, we would be seeing a phenomenal Lewis Hamilton performance as we did in 2020 and 2021. The car is the problem, not Lewis Hamilton. The car is over a second a lap slower than the Red Bull and the Ferrari, and yet we are still seeing Mercedes getting points. They are currently 3rd in the Constructors' Championship, and I'm here to say on Front Street, Mercedes in 2022 will finish above Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. That is correct, you heard me. In fact, I'll go one further. Lewis Hamilton will win a race this season. Mark my words. He's had a lot of unluck with the safety cars, but he is still in the mix. Considering where Mercedes were at the start of the season, we have seen tremendous amounts of progress. And all I will say is, do not sleep on Sir Lewis Hamilton.